What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Talk Sports with Bjxnkz. And there's a lot of things to go over. And we'll start in the NBA with a problem, and it's called load management. Now, load management just didn't start yesterday or a couple of days ago or a couple years ago. Load management has been a thing in the NBA forever, where players get the night off after playing a bunch of games in a row. They're exhausted. They've been playing really well, or they haven't been playing so well, so the coach gives them a night off to recharge their battery. Like, those are load management situations that I'm like, okay, that's fine. But now we got players missing back-to-back games. We got players missing 25 games, 20 games, 13 games. You just name it. They're missing a bunch of games. NBA players get paid a lot of money to play. And these fans pay a lot of money for these tickets, hundreds of dollars, sometimes thousands, just to see their favorite player play. The NBA is a huge, global, international brand, and you got tons of eyes watching you all the time. So we're going to notice when our favorite players aren't on the court. When we had this big matchup between this guy and that guy, and we were waiting to see it, but one of the guys said, not tonight. I'm just going to sit this one out. And that's just not fair to fans. Now, I know the higher-ups are like, we want to save these guys. We want to keep them fresh for the playoffs. We want them to not get hurt. We want them to rest their body. I get all of that. But what about fans? You got to look at it from both points of views. And there's cons to it too. Some players don't qualify for MVP or Defensive Player of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year. You got to play a certain amount of games to qualify for those things. And then you got people saying, hey, well, why is he in the MVP race? He's balling. Well, this guy's played half the games than the actual guy who's going to win it. You got to take all those things into consideration. Now, me, myself, I don't have a problem with load management, but let's temper it for a little bit. Hey, you can miss one game, cool, but don't go out missing multiple games. Like the Clipper incident, for instance. The Clippers were getting blown out at half, so they set their starters for the second half. I can get that to an extent. I don't like the whole giving up on a game thing. I've seen great comebacks, so yeah, I don't really understand that. But then two of their stars ended up not even playing the next night. That, I think, is unacceptable. Now, I know the NBA players and some people are going to say, hey, what do you know? These players need rest. I get it. But you get time in between games. They're missing a bunch of games in a row, and it's just kind of a head scratcher. What's really going on? Are you really hurt, or are you just resting? Now we got people pointing fingers. Is it at the execs, or is it actually the players, or is it the coaches? Is it the trainers? It's a little bit of everybody. Some of those trainers go in there and be like, hey, he's really been stressed out. You should really give him a couple nights off. Or, hey, his knee is okay, but let's just make sure and just sit him for this game. All these things play a big component in this load management debacle that we got going on in the NBA right now. And I don't think there's a right or a wrong, and I don't think there's an immediate answer for it. There's some people saying 72 games. There's some people saying knock it down from best out of 7 to best out of 5. Like, all these things are good suggestions, but there's logistics behind it all. You got people with season tickets. You got people who want to buy more tickets. You got people who want to see more NBA games. And those things don't help that situation at all. So I think the NBA execs and some of the players need to get together and figure this thing out. If you're going to shorten the season, do so. But you can't have load management in a 72-game season. That's 10 games you're taking out, and that's multiple other games if you go down to best out of 5 instead of doing best out of 7. How come we can't do best out of 5 playoff round and then you get to the finals and do best out of 7? See, there are solutions to it. You just can't have guys sitting out of games and not playing, and you got boy who spent his own earned money or whatever on a game ticket, and he gets there and his favorite player, like I said, is sitting on the sideline smiling with street clothes on. So load management, definitely an issue that needs to be fixed, and it needs to be fixed fast.